What's up, Brian Tong here, and Apple recently dropped the iOS 18.1 developer beta. This is only for developers and not for the public, and I'm gonna show it to you in depth here, but the biggest thing is that Apple has released some Apple Intelligence features, but not all of them. So none of the big ones like personal context in Siri and Genmojis and Image Playground or Chat GPT just yet. And these new intelligence features are in the iOS 18.1, iPadOS 18.1, and macOS Sequoia 15.1 developer betas right now. But I'm gonna show you exactly all the new Apple Intelligence features that are in this iOS 18.1 developer beta. And I was coming back from San Diego Comic-Con when Apple released it, but instead of just rushing something out, I decided, hey, let's take a little time, a few more days with the beta so we can really dig into it, and there is a lot here. So let's start off with the biggest visual change, and it's Siri. There's an all-new design, so when you hold the button down, a rainbow glow comes over it starting from the button side. You'll hear a new pleasant chime. Ooh, that's nice. And the edges, they start glowing. And then you can start talking your phone like you normally do. But if you use the magic word phrase, hey, you'll actually see the glow starting from the bottom of the phone, and then the edges will stay lit. Just a subtle thing, but I told you we're gonna get deeper with this. And while the edges are lit up, you can still actually use your phone to scroll around or type at the same time. It's active and listening. You couldn't do that before. But you don't even have to use the button or your voice anymore. You can just double tap on the bottom of the iPhone or iPad screen, and you'll be able to type to Siri if you're in a quiet place like a meeting or the library, if you want to talk to Siri on the low because you're sketchy like that. Now, the iOS 18.1 developer beta has added product knowledge, so you can ask Siri how to do things from Apple support documentation. Everything from, how do I send an invisible message? Oh, thanks. Or ask, how do I see what I'm subscribed to? Because I want to cut down my spending. Or, how do I reset my AirTag? Hey, that's here too. So it's helpful things and how-tos directly from Apple's product knowledge base right on your device. Okay, let's try this. How do I get a tighter booty?
If you want immediate results, shapewear can help give your bum an instant lift. A costlier but more permanent solution involves cosmetic procedures like butt implants or lifts.
Okay, that's not from Apple's knowledge base, but it was still actually helpful. So next thing I have to do is look into shapewear. Now those are bad apples. But those are the things and the ways that you can interact with Siri. And Tim Cook just recently said that Chat GPT integration will be coming by the end of the calendar year. It will almost certainly be labeled as a beta feature, but that opens up even more possibilities for complex responses using Chat GPT's LLMs, like making a 3-course meal for dinner with steak and a gluten-free dessert. And I'm not gluten-free, but I'm just being thoughtful. All right, Siri can also handle mistakes and is better at handling requests. So let's try this. Hey, Siri, can you set a timer for 30 minutes? Wait, no, actually, can I change that and make that 10 minutes? Okay, there you go. That's nice to see. So it has a better understanding in that way. So that's what's new in Siri and some of its Apple Intelligence features in this beta. Now at WWDC, they showed off the ability for Siri and Apple Intelligence to understand everything on our phone, from content inside of things like text messages and photos and all the information on our phone, and really understanding personal context, but that is not here. Okay, let's talk about writing tools. We get to experience how we can use this for the first time in this developer beta. These are new system-wide writing tools powered by Apple Intelligence, and they are across iOS, iPadOS, and macOS in the developer betas right now. You might have something to say, but hey, you don't always know the right way to say it, so I put together something simple here. Just a few sentences about going fishing on skis. I'm gonna let you take a moment to read some of it, but I'm not gonna wait too long. Now, I'll just highlight the text here, and then I can access the tools in a couple different ways at the moment. If I want something quick, hey, just swipe right on that toolbar down the bottom, and Apple Intelligence gives me some options. I can choose to have it proofread, and it makes it smoother grammatically for me, or offers better word choices because I just type the way I talk. That is good and bad. And I can then revert back to the original after the proofread, you saw there's also an option to rewrite it, and Apple Intelligence can take over and make it sound a little more eloquent. And you can see it here. So those are the fast access ways, but once you select the text and you tap on it, there are normal options you've seen before, but hit this arrow, then I can access all the writing tools here. I'm gonna click on it, and below now you can see the proofread and rewrite options that we already did, but there's a lot more. I can make it sound more friendly, so let's try that. Okay, I'm looking at this. It does sound a little friendlier. Okay, I'm going to revert back to the original. This time, let's make it more professional. Okay, reading that sounds just a little nerdy, maybe a little stalkerish with this type of message, but it is a very sanitized version in a professional way. Okay, I'm gonna revert it one more time, and let's try concise. So there you see that is direct and to the point. You also have other options down here for summarize to make a summary of all the text you've selected, whatever it is. So we see that. You can have it pull key points like this. And yes, those are the key points. Or you can even make a list. Or even include a table if it's relevant to the information in your writing. So those are the new writing tools in the iOS 18.1 developer beta. And it's fun to play around with them and just a way to show you how it can help. But when I, read these things, it doesn't always sound the most human friendly. I'll take that back. Maybe friendly does, but it's still also not how I talk. So I just don't know how much I'll use it to change the tone, but proofreading my writing will come in the most handy for me. It'll just be different for everyone. I just don't know how much I'll personally use the writing tools beyond that in the long term. So writing tools and a partially revamped Siri are the two biggest features in this developer beta so far, but there are also more. Now for me, I'm really liking what I'm seeing in the Mail app. Apple Intelligence brings up the first few mails with the highest priority at the top to check out. I think that this is super useful. Yeah, you can scroll through it, but this is kind of like a cliff notes of my emails that I haven't responded to. But I also really like the summary previews as I scroll down through my other emails that I have actually been reading using this beta. So I just get a sense of what the email is about by it going deeper into the text of the email and getting these short summaries. There are also smart replies based on the content of the email. So let's use this for an example. I have an email here that first had a summary that there was a payment problem on my Apple order. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the email and then I'm going to hit reply. And you can see that in a moment, these smart replies show up on the bottom with initially a rainbow glow. I'm going to pick one of them, and there, in a few moments, is a ready-made response for me that I can keep or tweak to my liking. So as I've used this, depending on the types of emails, I could definitely see myself using this feature on the regular. Okay, now, a mail feature that Apple showed at WWDC was on-device organization that helps categorize your emails from personal to transactions, all your social media stuff and updates, and even promotions. Well, that's not an Apple Intelligence feature, but an iOS 18 feature, even if it feels like it could be using some level of intelligence to help out, but that's not here in the developer beta yet. So it just reminds me that it could be a little hard to define exactly what Apple Intelligence is, but it feels like it has to do more with the OS helping you generate responses or create content, and also pulling from the information it knows about you, so it's much more personalized. So I think it's a few things working together. It's not necessarily just one thing, just to try to clear up what exactly is Apple Intelligence. Now, there is an update to notification summaries where multiple mail and messages will be summarized for you to give you all the key information. I haven't really seen this in action, maybe only because I answer almost all my messages right away, but it is there. You can also see what the Photos app does for you. Now, this is kind of fun. When I go to create a memory movie, this is one of the new Apple Intelligence features. Just you actually manually type in a description, and Apple Intelligence will take its time and it creates a montage for you and picks a title. It picks a song for you. So let's just see what this does. This is pretty cool. It's fun, and obviously I'll need to play more with it, but it is generating a video for you. in the past, right, it kind of did in the background, but you can also do some storytelling and have chapters, so it's more in-depth with this version. You can also use more natural language to search in your photos as well. So I'm gonna go up here and type in something like Brian in a white shirt, and it'll show me those responses. Or I could just even try something like blurry photos, and it shows me those. So try playing with different combinations. It's definitely doing better in search here. Before, I remember just saying like cats, dogs. It's a little more complex and smarter that way. Now let's also talk about the Voice Memos app. I've already shown that here. It has transcription in it in the public beta, and I love it because you can jump around from the transcription. You tap on a word and the audio will take you to that point. Well, in this developer beta, you can now record and transcribe a live call, phone call, directly from the phone app with Apple Intelligence. It's this button on the top left. It lets the caller know that you're talking to, what's happening, and then afterwards, it generates summaries of the transcript to get the most important information at a glance. That definitely helps me for people that are maybe reporting or even recording podcasts. I think this could be pretty sweet. Now in the Notes app, you can also record a live transcript, speak into it. It says all the words. It's supposed to also help create a generated summary for you, but I haven't seen that done yet with a few recordings that I've done. But if you look at all this together, these are all the Apple Intelligence features in the latest iOS 18.1 developer beta. And I would say that they're more of the peripheral features right now, not the big ones, but this is the first taste we're getting. And again, this is a developer beta, not even a public one. Some of the features coming in future betas and updates later this year, and even over the course of next year. What, Genmojis? There's Image Playground for image creation. You got Photos Cleanup, which is Apple's version of Google's Magic Eraser, but for Apple. Priority notifications, and then also Siri's personal context and in-app actions, which is, I think, the biggest deal for me. You also have ChatGPT integration, which, again, earlier I said Tim Cook, he said it will be coming later this year, most likely, again, as a beta. But those things I just listed, that's the meat and potatoes of Apple Intelligence in iOS 18, so it feels like we're getting just the appetizers right now, but we're not even close to the main course yet, right? The real key stuff, so we will just wait. But there you go. That's an in-depth look at all the Apple Intelligence features that Apple has made available to developers right now inside the developer beta. So let me know what you think. What are your thoughts with what I showed you? I want to know. We have comments for a reason. Put it in the comments, right? Where are you at? Is this a good Apple? Is it a bad Apple or a meh Apple? Like for me, it's a nice apple, but it's not ripe for the picking just yet. It's really too early. I would say I'm just waiting for it to all to come together. This isn't bad, but this is not blow me away stuff. Just a little bit more of what we can expect from iOS 18 when it releases in the fall. But again, a lot of these features on track for later this year and really over the course of next year. So just keep that in mind. All right, that's going to do it for this video. If you like what you see, give me that thumbs up, subs up, and hit that notification bell, ding, to get all my latest videos when they drop. And if you want more of that Apple goodness, you can check out my weekly Apple Bits XL podcast with the latest stories and special guests. Plus, you can support all my content with an ad-free version of the podcast, early access to my content, and exclusive content at patreon.com/BrianTong. So thanks so much for watching. Take care, and we'll see you on the next video. Peace and love.